Healthy relationships are discussed in pregnancy resource centers. This is an example script of how to use the RAM tool in a clinic setting. RAM stands for Relationship Attachment Model. It's useful for STI patients and negative pregnancy test patients, especially those considering abortion. Let's get started. Hi, our clinic has classes on healthy relationships. Would you like to go through a tool that introduces you to ways to have a healthy relationship? Do you have time now, or would you like to come back and talk about a path to a healthy relationship? This first exercise will take no more than 10 minutes. This tool is called the RAM tool, which stands for Relationship Attachment Model. It helps you think about your current and future relationships. This tool comes from a book entitled How to Avoid Marrying a Jerk by John Van Epp. Think about your current relationship or a previous long-term one. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to slide the bar up for higher and down for lower. How well did you know this person? How much did you trust this person? How much could you rely on this person? How much were you committed to this person? Where was touch, including sex, on this scale? Advocates, look at the bars. Observe where areas are high. Touch is usually high. Now review the results with the client. Okay, let's go through what you chose. When you're first in a relationship, the bar should be higher from left to right. You want to move no higher before you move to trust. When I say know, I mean how much did you really know about them? Get to know not only what they like, but why. It's suggested that you spend at least 3 months on no before you can begin to trust. As you look at the model, how can you commit to someone you can't rely on? How can you rely on someone you can't trust? How can you trust someone you don't know? You want to spend time in each area before moving to the next. If you mix touch before all the others are established, you run the risk of the other categories not developing like they should. One reason is that when you have sex with someone, you release a bonding hormone, oxytocin. The hormone tells you that you're bonded to this person. It can confuse you that all the other attachments are happening when they're not. Sadly, the more partners you have, the more confused your body becomes about who you are bonded with. Also, the more partners you have, you run the risk that when you finally find the person you want to be with, the bond may not be as strong as it could have been. This is another reason touch should be kept for the person you want to marry. Was this exercise helpful to you? Now, let's go through some relationship resources available to you, including a list of our online classes. Advocates at this time go through some resources, ask them which classes interest them, and encourage them to sign up. Finish with a prayer and exit survey.